At the confluence of Plum Creek and the Wapsipinicon River in northeastern Iowa, just outside the town of Tripoli, we find a beautiful, restored wetland ecosystem named Sweet Marsh. Sweet Marsh is a 3,000-acre complex of wetlands, grasslands, and forests in Bremer County, Iowa, owned and managed by the Iowa Department of Natural Resources. Its occurrence at the confluence of Plum Creek and the Wapsipinicon River is no coincidence. All across the state where two rivers join, we commonly find wetlands. In their natural state, the wetlands would be created by the meandering and pulsing of the water in the two adjoining rivers. However, drainage and channelization, or the straightening of rivers and streams, in the late 1800s and early 1900s erased many of these meanders and starved this site of its regular flow of water. But some of the water persisted, and in the 1940s, the faltering farmland was purchased by the state to try to put some of the pieces of this wetland ecosystem back together for the benefit of wildlife, water, and people. To restore the modified ecosystem, engineers and ecologists worked to create a series of basins or impoundments where the flow of water could be manipulated and controlled to mimic the natural ecology of riverine wetlands. Today, there are a number of unique impoundments at Sweet Marsh that are each managed to provide a wide variety of habitat for wildlife and recreational opportunities. One impoundment is called Martin's Lake. The 130-acre unit is the deepest area in the complex and provides recreationists places to paddle and fish in open water. Although it's called a lake, the deepest point in the pool is less than 10 feet, and the water averages around 3 feet. The fresh flowing water through the site, characteristic of riverine wetlands, sustains the fish like northern pike and crappie that are found there year-round. The other impoundments in the complex are shallower and defined by the occurrence of emergent and submersed wetland plants. By manipulating the water levels and the timing of flooding in the impoundments, managers create a wide range of conditions that promote a wide range of wetland plants and water depths. Some impoundments in the complex are dried out and disked to create bare, moist soil areas where annual plants can grow during the summer. Then the managers put shallow water back on top of these mature annual plants to coincide with the spring and fall migration of ducks and geese that rely on their seeds to fuel their migration. Active management practices like this promote a diversity of bird use and provide opportunities for observation and hunting. An observation deck overlooking one impoundment in the middle of the unit is a popular place for bird watching. The platform, itself shaped like a bird, allows visitors a chance to look over a 200-acre impoundment that is closed to hunting and attracts a diversity of birds during their migration, including large numbers of migrating sandhill cranes. The region is so important for birds that it's also included in one of Iowa's bird conservation areas, where focused efforts for land management are trying to support critical areas for bird conservation across the state. Sweet Marsh falls in the Wapsi River Bird Conservation Area, which is trying to protect and manage riparian forests, wetlands, and grasslands for birds along the river. One thing that makes the Wapsipinicon River corridor important for birds and other wildlife is the contiguous nature and large size of the forests and wetlands found there. For miles up and downstream from Sweet Marsh, there are large tracts of riparian forests that host a wide diversity of birds, like forest-nesting red-shouldered hawks. Bald eagles are also common in the region, and a number of pairs nest on or near Sweet Marsh. The wetland is home to a diversity of rare amphibians and reptiles too. Blanding's turtles, a rare wetland-dependent turtle, are common at Sweet Marsh. Eastern Massasaugas are a wetland-dependent rattlesnake that are threatened with extinction. Although they haven't been recently documented at Sweet Marsh, they have been documented there in the past, and the large wetland with its mix of open water and emergent vegetation could be ideal habitat for them. Central newts are a unique amphibian that spend portions of their lives in forested wetlands and the rest on the forest floor. The large patches of continuous forest with interspersed wetlands along the river are critical for their survival in and around Sweet Marsh. Connectivity matters for people too, and a paved trail connects the town of Tripoli with Sweet Marsh. This unique wetland ecosystem is woven into the fabric of the community, its people, and its businesses. So much so that banners in towns show wetland wildlife, and the town motto is Home of Sweet Marsh. Sweet Marsh truly is a wonderful wetland ecosystem, cleaning water, reducing flooding, and providing habitat for wildlife and places for people to explore and play. Thanks for visiting the wetland with us today and celebrating this wetland ecosystem and all the good wetlands do for Iowans every day.